I think that would be the most thoughtful way of getting them something from their favorite house without you spending hundreds or thousands of dollars. Hi guys, my name is G.P.S. and welcome back to my holiday series. Today I'm back with another gift guide, but instead of speculating about what would make a good gift and what would make someone happy, I thought I would share with you my tried and tested luxury gifts, pieces that I've given time and time again, and I continue to do so because they never fail to impress. So if you have a luxury lover in your life or someone who you think has everything already, and you can't even begin to guess what would make them happy, then I would highly recommend that you check these out. They do everything you want a luxury gift to do. They come in the beautiful, luxurious packaging. They deliver on the experience. But none of these, I think, are going to break the bank. So if you want to see my tried and true luxury gifts that have proven themselves to be spectacular and don't cost an arm and a leg, then please keep on watching. Okay, let's start with a few things that I would call probably a more practical gift. These are the kind of thing that the person you're giving them to is going to be able to use on a regular basis without really even thinking about it, which I think is the best kind of gift. You don't want to spend money on something that is just going to sit in the back of a drawer or in their cupboard until the next time you see them. These are the kind of things that are sort of a more luxurious version of things that they probably already use. And the first item is something that I have been giving as a gift for probably years at this point, but it is, I think, more relevant than ever before, which is luxury hand soaps. Obviously, nowadays, hand hygiene has become such an important thing. I've always been a germaphobe, so I'm very used to washing my hands 100 times a day. So you could call me a luxury hand soap connoisseur because I've tried most luxury hand soaps out there. But I definitely have a couple of recommendations for you. But before we even get into those, what I would recommend that you do is that if you want to buy a hand soap for a friend of yours who happens to love, I don't know, Chanel, Dior, Hermes, one of the big luxury houses out there, then I think the first thing you could do is to look on their favorite brand's website or go to the boutique if you can and see if they happen to sell a hand soap from that particular brand. And if they do, I think that would be the most thoughtful way of getting them something from their favorite house without you spending hundreds or thousands of dollars. Because if you get them a hand soap from, let's say, Chanel, and you know that they love Chanel, you'll get them the experience and the packaging and the branding without you having to go out there and buying them a brand new bag or an SLG. So I think it's just a really thoughtful way of getting them a piece of their favorite house. Obviously, some brands don't do hand soaps, but most of them do body washes at this point. So even if you cannot get your hands on a hand soap, a body wash could also be a great idea. But I do have a couple of recommendations. And the one that I personally use, which is my personal favorite, is the Aesop hand soap, which if you love luxury interior and you love scrolling through Architectural Digest or any kind of interior shots on Instagram, I'm sure you have already seen this little brown bottle with this sort of really heavy branding, which there is just something about it that adds a beautiful, luxurious touch to any sink or countertop. I'm not a particularly big fan of this sort of branding, but even I admire this. There is just something to it that I cannot quite put my finger on, but I absolutely love these. Aesop does two different kind of hand soaps. They have just your regular run-of-the-mill hand soap that smells nice, but there's nothing really special to it. But the one that I prefer is the one with the exfoliating properties. This one has little tiny, really, really finely milled, I think they use tiny little stones that almost feel like grains of sand in there. That is quite a unique experience in case you've never tried it. And the smell of this is lovely. It's quite an earthy, herbal scent with just a hint of citrus. It's a really, really nice scent. It comes beautifully packaged. And if you know someone who loves luxury interior, then I think this is a really good way of getting them something. These cost about $45 depending on where you get them, which I think is fine for a luxury gift. So this is definitely a good place to start in case you don't know what to get for a friend of yours who loves luxury. And then the other one that I quite like is the one from Diptyque. Diptyque also has two different kinds of soaps. They have one that I believe is called the softening hand soap, and then they have one that has the exfoliating properties. From experience and from memory, I think the Diptyque one is a little bit finer, the exfoliating beads inside, which I think are jojoba beads or something more natural than little stones. I think the Diptyque one is a little bit more gentle, and the main difference is that the Diptyque one comes in a refillable jar. It comes in like a sort of heavy glass bottle, whereas this one is plastic, which you can still refill if you want to, but the Diptyque one does come with actual refill pouches that you can buy once you've used up the original glass one. So if you have someone in your life who is more environmentally conscious, then I think they would really appreciate the Diptyque one, because it comes in a glass tub, which is obviously recyclable, but you don't even have to worry about recycling it because you can just keep buying the refill pouches. And that one, I believe, the exfoliating one is about $60, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it comes in a beautiful heavy glass jar. And then the last one that I thought I would mention is the Hermes hand soaps, which I had to mention. I couldn't make a video without mentioning Hermes. But I find their hand soaps to be the most underwhelming out of all of the ones that I've told you about, because there is just really not much to the packaging. Each one of their hand soaps come in this really, really simple plastic bottle, and each one of them, they don't really have any design to them. They are just sort of, each one of the different scents come in a different primary colored packaging. I've tried the rhubarb, the mandarin, and the orange. And I have to say that the mandarin one was my favorite, but while the formula is nice, it is sort of moisturizing and softening. There is just not much to it, and I think that is about $60. So for that kind of money, I think you'd be better off buying either an A soap or a Diptyque hand soap. But if the person you're getting them for loves Hermes, what can you do? They do also make a hand soap, which is, don't get me wrong, it's fine, but for $60, I would definitely recommend A soap or the Diptyque one. While we are on the topic of hand hygiene, another thing that you could absolutely buy for your friend who loves luxury, something that they can just apply throughout the day and be reminded of your kindness and just give them a boost of luxury and indulgence, is a beautiful hand cream, which is something that obviously all of us need right now with all the hand washing and hand sanitizing. There are two hand creams that I've been buying for, well, one of them I've been buying for years. This is something that I used to give to my doorman, people I worked with. And it is the Chanel hand cream, which comes in the cutest little egg-like packaging. It's quite an innovative way of packaging your hand cream. Chanel now, I think they do two different kinds. There is the original, the white one, which I've been buying for a couple of years at this point. And then they also have one that comes in black packaging, which is technically from their Le Lift line, which is sort of their anti-aging take on a hand cream. The original one is about $40, and then I think the Le Lift one, the black one, is maybe $60, $65. So you are paying for those anti-aging properties. At the end of the day, I think it really comes down to whether you prefer the white or the black packaging. It's not like the anti-aging one has, I don't think, any sort of retinol in there. It doesn't have sunscreen. So I wonder how much it can do when it comes to anti-aging. But if you want to sort of give a similar experience, but you don't want to spend the money necessarily, then a brand that has a really similar hand cream is Glossier. I think they launched this not too long ago, maybe just 3-4 months ago at this point. And I have no doubt that they were really heavily inspired by the Chanel hand cream, because the packaging is really similar with the sort of Glossier touch. It is in the iconic Glossier pink. It is, I think, scented. I think the scent is based on their best-selling fragrance, the Glossier You fragrance, which, in case you've never tried that, it's sort of like a really soft, skin-like fragrance, and that's what the hand cream smells like. So if you are buying a gift for someone who you know loves Glossier, or someone who is a little bit more young and you don't think that they would appreciate a Chanel hand cream, then a Glossier one is a great one to buy. It's around $18. It comes in the beautiful Glossier packaging. It's fun to use. It's really lightweight but quite hydrating. So you couldn't go wrong with the Glossier one either. Again, it comes down to who you're buying them for and what's your budget. And since we are talking about Glossier, one thing that I didn't bring out here but I want to mention still is the Glossier lip balms, which are called, I believe, the balm.com. At this point, I think they have like 7 or maybe even more different scents and flavors and tints. Some of them are tinted, some of them are not tinted, but I think anyone could use any one of them. At least I do. I think I've tried every single one other than the berry one, which is the purple one. I use the rose, the cherry, and I'll make sure to link some of my favorites down below, but I used every single one of them and I really can't notice any kind of color payoff. Even if you do, it's so faint with the amount that you apply that you can really buy them for anyone. They are lovely. I think the Glossier lip balms are really, really nice. They feel nice on the lips. They are extremely moisturizing. They come in a really cute packaging. So perhaps if you're ordering someone a hand cream and you want something else to go with it, the balm.coms are also a great gift. I always have a couple of them at home just in case if I go somewhere and I want to take something with me. I usually take a balm.com, especially nowadays when people cannot really wear lipstick because they have to wear a mask all day long and they don't want the lipstick to rub off. Maybe a balm.com could be a good idea because it does give just a hint of color. Maybe if you apply a little bit more, it's going to be more noticeable. I personally wear the rose and the cherry all the time, and I've never had any one of you guys come back to me and say,
hey, your lips kind of look pink or red in this video.
Even though I wear those all the time. But yeah, I think the balm.com could also be a great idea, whether to accompany the hand cream or just on its own. That I think would be a spectacular gift to give. I promise this is the last sort of hand washing related gift, but it is something that I had to mention because I talked about this before and I always give this as a gift, which is the Hermès baby towels. So Hermès does this towel line called the Avalon towels, which are inspired by their iconic pillows and blankets and have the same sort of H branding. And they do a couple of different towels in the same line. I talked about, I think, the hand towels that I use as well as the larger ones that I have in my bathroom in a previous video. So if you can find it, I'll make sure to link it up here. But the hand towels make the most amazing gift. This is not something that I've given for the holidays before, but I've definitely given these as a housewarming gift or just as something thoughtful to give, especially for people who love Hermès. You wouldn't think much about giving a hand towel to someone, but there's something about these that just really helps to pull a room together, whether these end up in the bathroom or in the kitchen. If they love Hermès and if they love sort of a luxurious touch to their home, they're going to really, really appreciate these. They're not crazy expensive, but they come beautifully wrapped in the Hermès box with the Hermès packaging, and obviously they feature the H. So you are sort of giving them a piece of Hermès's history and heritage without you spending over $1,000 on a blanket. So if they have these in stock, I would recommend that you pick up 1 or 2 of these for your friends who love luxury. These come in 2 different colors. There is the pink one, which is this, and then I also have it in blue. Bear in mind that I bleached these quite badly by accident, so this looks quite faded at this point, but this is the blue one, so it comes in blue and then it comes in pink. Obviously, they would recommend that you get one for boys, one for girls. I think anyone can wear whatever they want, so it just really depends on which one you prefer. I never really care about the color I buy, whichever they have in stock or whatever mood I'm in, but I have to mention these because these make a fabulous gift, and I really cannot think of anyone who wouldn't appreciate an Hermès gift for the holiday season. This next gift is a little bit of a jump, especially when it comes to price, but in case you're looking for a gift for someone who you're you don't mind spending a little bit more money on, then I think this would make a great gift, which is again from the Hermes home range. And it is the so-called, please forgive my French pronunciation, but I believe the official name for this is Mise et Relance. If I remember correctly, it means something like set it down and remember it, or set it down and don't forget it, which is this leather jewelry tray. And the original idea behind this is that you should use these for traveling, because it comes like this. It comes, when you buy this, it comes rolled up completely flat. And what they recommend that you do is that you travel with these like this, sort of as a sheet of leather. And then whenever you get to your final destination, you just put these up in your hotel room or wherever you're staying. And instead of having all your important documents, your credit cards, your wallet, your jewelry, your watches, whatever, all around, scattered around your hotel room, you would keep everything in here next to your bed or on the coffee table. And then you know that when you're leaving, all of your important things that you don't want to forget are in here. You can just take them out, put them on, and then when you're ready to leave, all you do is you kind of roll it up, put it in your suitcase, and you're ready to go. Which personally, I think I've used this maybe once for traveling when I was in Miami last year. I think I used it then, but it's personally not something that I would use for traveling. If you know someone who travels a lot and maybe someone who is a little bit forgetful, maybe this could be a great and practical idea. But it's something that I use around the apartment. I kind of move this around. Sometimes I have this in my kitchen, sometimes I have it. It was sitting on my desk and I had some cords and some chargers in here that I was using this for. But it's just a really, really nice gift and a really thoughtful gift to give. It comes in a couple of different sizes, colors, designs. My favorite one is the one with the H in the middle, which is obviously the same sort of pattern that the Avalon bag has. So I really enjoy this. I think this is the largest one that they come in, but they have smaller ones. They have ones that are more elongated that they call a pencil case. They have ones that are even smaller that you can use for business cards. So you have plenty of options when it comes to these. And if they love Hermes, this is a great way of giving them a piece of Hermes leather. And then I thought I would share two more sort of unexpected gifts. Things that are a little bit more creative. One of them is a little bit more artsy for sure. So let's start with that one, which is the LUMIO book light. This is a light that I bought before, I think a couple of times. This I think would make the best gift if you are trying to buy something for your father-in-law or your mother-in-law, or maybe for your brother-in-law, someone that you don't really know that well, but you still want to get them a nice gift. It would make a great gift for a friend who is a little bit more artsy and into design and innovation. Because these are these really cool little lights that essentially just look like a hardcover book when they're sitting on a shelf or on your coffee table. But as you open them up, it reveals this incredible light on the inside. And you can play around with them. You can have them open, you can twist and turn them, you can have them sitting in different ways. I think some of them you can even hang from the ceiling. You can use them as sort of little lanterns or as a bedside table. They just add a kind of fun touch to the home, which is quite innovative. So if you know anyone who is quite artsy, then I think this would be a true showstopper. It's something that every single time I give these to someone, they're like,
"You got me a book that doesn't even have a title on it," and I'm like, no, just open it.
And then as they open it, the light comes on and it's just the best experience. So I think this is just a really fun and kind of goofy gift to give. And even though it's goofy, it's still quite luxurious, and it's something that your friends or whoever you're giving them to can use on a regular basis. And then the last gift is one that I have purchased a couple of times, and every single time people were over the moon to receive it. And I think this would make a great gift for a friend of yours who you know is really into their makeup, or someone who you know is out and about all day and they need to refresh their makeup on the go. In that case, I would definitely recommend that you look at the Simple Human little compact mirrors. Now, Simple Human is a brand that is known for their incredible mirrors, but they do this one particular piece that I think makes an incredible gift, which is this sort of tiny handheld mirror that comes beautifully wrapped in its own leather case. And as soon as they take it out from the leather case, it lights up all around it. So that just kind of gives the person a better view and a better environment to refresh their makeup in. It is a handheld mirror, but it comes with a little ring on the back that makes it easier for them to hold it or maybe set it down on a table or maybe in their car. If they stop somewhere and they're about to go into a store but they want to refresh their makeup, they can set it up in their car and it's going to stand still. So it's just a really clever little smart mirror that I think a friend who loves makeup would really, really appreciate. And it's just something thoughtful, something unexpected that I know for a fact is an amazing crowd pleaser. And this is it, guys. This completes today's video on my favorite gifts to give. Please let us know if there's anything that you have in your back pocket, something that you like to pull out when you need to buy someone a beautiful gift. Perhaps we can learn from each other and be inspired by each other's suggestions. And if you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.